Guys, welcome back to a brand new episode of the Football Economy. I'm very excited today. I've got somebody with me who's got probably one of the most fastest growing Manchester United fan channels out there. I've got Mick Ruby from MUFC Realist TV. Mick, how you doing?
How you going, Mr. Bilal? Good to be on your podcast finally. We've been talking about this for a very long time.
Yes, I've been following your work and we've been speaking and, thank you for taking time out for doing this.
Pleasure to be here, sir. Yeah, no, it's all good. It's not doom and gloom. We all Manchester United fans and we all want what's best for this club, don't we? At the end of the day.
Absolutely. Mick, I've been following your work since I probably came across you when I started looking into when the takeover thing started happening and I started seeing you pop up into spaces, I started seeing your content and stuff. So I really wanted to get you on 1 year on, and we're going to touch upon the takeover. Coming on to move the conversation forward.
Yeah, let's move on.
Topic, which we've covered over the last year or so is this takeover, which never seems to be happening, and it is happening. And I had some questions prepared. Then I saw the Sky News article this afternoon, and then I thought, okay, we'll change.
Okay, let's go.
I'm going to try shedding some new light onto this, and I don't want to go over because it's been covered so much. Let's start with why do you think there is there is a delay going on at the moment with this?
Well, first and foremost, it depends. I've been covering this for over a year. I've been doing over 200 podcasts regarding this. So for me, it's getting boring. One thing that I've learned over this takeover is actually who's benefiting from this is it's been the media has been benefiting this, because as soon as you attach yourself to the name Manchester United, it generates so much clicks and engagements. Even the club itself generated a lot of social media engagement. For me, it's been one spin story after the other, and the one that's been leading this latest is actually Sky News. They were the one that came out first to say that 92 Holding Foundation is out, and it's been one stream flow after another just promoting Ratcliffe and Ineos on 25%. Why? I don't think it's that advanced as of yet. I think it's more of the media setting the targets and the agenda. They're treating it like a transfer window. But if you understand business, it doesn't really work like that, If you just look at the whole sales takeover process, I'll call it the sports journalist publications and stuff like that became all of a sudden takeover experts and treating it like a window, like Fabrizio Romano. Here we go, almost personal terms, not a problem. All we can see, here we go. That's it. So it's been reported imminent this Monday, Tuesday. Oh, by the way, next week. Oh, next week comes. Oh, maybe next year, maybe never. And today, over the weekend, after we lost, it was spun out that Sir Jim Ratcliffe looking forward to start on Monday. And it's like,
I saw that as well, yeah.
Mate, first and foremost, you got to do a proper club announcement. Second and all, you got to report it to New York Stock Exchange. I mean, this just shows you that they are playing on the fans' emotions. They don't understand people that, read the headlines. And it's just been diabolical, man. It's like divide and conquer, human rights issues and then greenwashing issues. And it's just been dividing the United fan base. But all we have to do is to look at Glazer's 100% because that's what we want to. I don't understand how you can settle for 25%, Bilal. So just riddle me this. If you go to a steakhouse, right? Do you go to order a T-bone steak and say, I'm going to eat it 25%, or you're going to eat 100% of that steakhouse? Or as a fan, do you go to a game and expect to see 25% performance of Manchester United, or you demand 100% output? I would say 100%, For me, this 25% does not make any sense whatsoever. It's too complicated. That's the reason why it's delayed. He bought himself time to get a foot in the door. That's my opinion, because he stayed in the race. He stayed in the race, yes. And I don't believe that the other party's out for some reason. I don't think it ain't over to the fat lady things, but that's my opinion. Because they don't need to do PR. They are quite confident they put a valuation well over, they will buy out all the siblings. On the other hand, Ratcliffe has been, stalling it, according to my opinion, being the bottleneck, just trying to buy, his time in. So basically, he's the one that's been restructured from 69 to 51, that got challenged by the minority shareholders, Lindsay Trainbowen, Arias, because they all want to pay out at the end of the day. So he came out now all of a sudden. David Hellier was reporting that the bid was dead out of the board, and all of a sudden Bloomberg, as an editorial, once you start reporting things, then you have to follow up on it. And he reported that 25% has been constructed, but it's so complicated, and even, people like Sky News and stuff has been reporting, leading this race. Even the calculations is not wrong. It's wrong. Like 1.2 million, 1.5, 1.6, what's going to be? And it's just been like one thing after another. And
do you think it could be a phased buyout? If it is Jim Ratcliffe?
A phased buyout. I was hearing something that, both Joel and Avram, they want an exit, they want out. But then if that's the case, it doesn't make sense. Then you got to look at 92 Holding Foundation, because they offered a full % buyout for everyone, right? And one thing what we know about Glazenomics is the only thing they care about is the money. That's the money, and how much they're going to walk away with. Everyone in that family, I kid you not, they have equal shares. Like, there are 6 siblings, and whenever they have a birthday party, they split equal. If you had 6 siblings before, you will argue to the point where, why did you get a drop Coke more than I in the glass? You know what I mean? It's got to be split equal, right? So I think it's been more media driven than actual factual driven from a business sense, because I always apply my business logic, my financial, my change management skills. I come from a people and culture background, transformation and change. I've seen these mergers and acquisitions. I spoke to the Swedish Rumble, so have you. Spoke to multiple people in this industry, and everyone says this doesn't make any sense. Even if it's a face buyout, it still has to apply by Cayman Island, fair trading, fair buyout clause as well. So 12.5% here, 12.5% there. Riddle me this. I don't understand. Usually it makes sense, but this one is just like, it feels a little bit like more of a smoke than a fire.
I think you're right in what you're saying. I think the media has not helped the situation by pointing out fake dates, Sheikh Jassim's out, Sheikh Jassim's in. I think we will know in the next 7 days from what the media are saying today.
One thing is for sure, if I don't like to mix geopolitics into this, but if you understand how the world is, how the economical world is ticking through geopolitics, if you control certain elements, if you control the information flow, you control pretty much everything. You know what I mean? So you got to ask, where is this coming from? Like, who is spreading this information? So it's pretty much the same in the transfer market. I scratch my back, you scratch yours. Like, agents use media all the time to leak out stories, and they get free publicity, right? There's NDAs signed. That means that, hey, it's an NDA, non-disclosure agreement, signed by both Glazers, Rain Group, and certain small group. I mean, Betty probably at Manchester United, chief legal, knows. Richard Donner probably knows as well. But there's a handful of people that only knows. The rest is speculations. And I call them the gravy train. I'm sorry for calling them the gravy train, the stenographers, because that's what they are nowadays. It's lazy journalism. You just create headlines, but they don't create proper stories. It's just recycle. And it's like the domino effects. If I'm starting the first one to report, I'm the source, and the rest of the publications just tweets me, right?
That's right. The aggregator accounts, right?
Aggregates, yes. And this is what's been going on since they came out to say that 92 Holding Foundation is out. But have you ever heard any statement from them to say they are out? No. They don't need PR. So the PR has been pretty much coming from the Ineos camp. They gain a lot of publicity for just being attached to the name of Manchester United. Prior, argue to the point to this takeover. Not many people knew who Ineos was, the name, right? But how much have they benefit for being in the limelight? You know, we're talking about contracts being awarded, like, you know, in fracking in USA, stuff like that. They're just being attached to the name, gives you a lot of free PR. And of course, you're going to milk it. But the question is, that's why I say, there's a lot of smoke, but where's the fire, Bilal, right? Again, the media is reporting imminent, Monday, Tuesday, Friday, next year, next Thursday. Oh, he's starting now today. School starts this summer, hooray.
Yeah. Let me ask you a final question. Because the takeover, like I said, it's been covered in depth by everybody. Let me ask you a final question then. Based on your opinion, on what do you think will happen?
I don't think that ineos will take control.
Okay.
That's my gut feeling. I don't think that this is over, far by. I think that this deal is with Ratcliffe is just what we said, to get his foot through the door, to be considered, because I think that they are waiting for, you know, feedback. The end of strategic review has been taking 2 years, being conducted by Joe Revich and Rainey Group, but they have now, I think, concluded their review. So I think that both bidders are sitting there waiting for feedback, and both camps sitting there confident. One camp is led to believe that they are out, but I don't think nobody really knows. They don't need PR, you know what I mean? But the other one that's going for 25 is blowing a lot of smoke. You know how it is? It's always the loudest that is less confident. You just take back, you know, bullies are loud, but inside they're weak.
The loudest in the room is the weakest in the room.
Yes, exactly. That's the saying. And this is the same analogy that I use here. I think that there's certain unbiased or biasness can I say xenophobic agendas, like, you know, against Manchester United, and they want this British, and it goes down to protecting your British players and stuff like that, by giving critics to Onana and all the foreign players. It's there rooted within the British media society, unfortunately. You know, I'm an independent journalist, and when I went to school, at least my gaffer told me, you know, always look at two sides of the story, and the truth is always in the middle, right? So it's up to you how you interpret the story, but this is my opinion. This is what I believe, and I've been saying that I don't think this Knight 2 Holding Foundation is dead out of the water as of yet. It's just been reported by British media, because if you backtrack it, if you just use your common sense, it came out of the back end of Sky News reporting this, and everyone was co-tweeting, co-reporting on it. If you even go on Bloomberg, the reference to the Sky News, if you look at Arab and Sen, which is Reuters, they also say, however, they keep the back to the original story that Knight 2 Holding Foundation refuses to put more money into the bid. It's a different thing to withdraw from the process, meaning I'm not going to bid anymore. This is my final offer, and that stands. Call me when you're ready. And this is where I believe we are right now, Bilal. I think they've given Sir Jim Ratcliffe time to ratify his 69.51 to 25, and now it's time to decision time. Right? This is just my business analogy. I don't know what you say, but anyway, what I'm saying here is not news. It's just my opinion, though.
I think, Nick, we're going to find out in the next 7 days. I think this cannot go past 15th, 16th of December.
They need money. They need money. And the thing is, it's just like a high-stake Texas Hold'em billionaires game. It's like a Squid Game, right? I know that you sitting there, Bilal, you know that I had 4 aces in my hand, right? And I know that you think you need my money, right? You're the Glazers, let's say. I know that you need to sell, but you don't know, right? I know that I'm confident what I have in my hand. So now it's just calling the bluff, right? Glazers don't have the upper hand anymore. We've seen the finances. They are broke, right? They're broke. And if they're going with this forecast, let's say, if you're speaking finance, based on 2026, the club might be worth 10 billion based on the forecast. Well, that's pretty much like planting a seed, being a farmer, and hoping that it will be, you know, rain and balanced sunshine.
Yeah, in business, projections don't mean nothing. You know, realistically, it's what you valued at today. And I understand there's a legacy value to Manchester United. but it's nowhere near what they think. And to get to 10 billion revenue, there needs to be a new TV deal that benefits, and they need to be successful on the pitch. They can't be finishing 7th and 8th and be valued at 10 billion. And number 3 is there's only so many billionaires out there that actually want to buy a club, and eventually they will run out as well. So you don't want to.
Yeah,
you don't want a situation where.
Just imagine yourself like, understanding that you are realizing that you are the only one bidding against yourself on the 100%. It doesn't make sense then to outbid yourself, does it? Right? So you basically say, well, no, Forbes evaluation says the club is worth 4.8 billion. I'm putting 6 billion on or 7 billion on. Nobody really knows the figure, right? They've been saying that's under evaluation, over evaluation, but who is really knowing, because there's NDAs in place. The only thing is, we will find out sooner or later what we found out with Richard Arnold through a club statement.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to come from Bain Jacobs or through Mike Keegan's. I don't think it's going to come from, here we go, Fabrizio Romano, or it's going to go through a club statement. But first and foremost, it also has to go to New York Stock Exchange, the SEC, right? They need to be formed, because they had to do that with Richard Arnold's resignation as well.
Absolutely. If people want to follow you, find out more about you, how can they do that?
Oh, if you want to stalk me?
Yes, that's it.
First and foremost, you have to pay a flight to come to Thailand, because I live here now. It's been 4 weeks since I moved over here. I'm going to stay here for a year. But in other words, you can follow on my YouTube channel. It's called MUFC Realist TV. I would say it's the fastest growing real Manchester United content. We practice freedom of speech, and we allow you to be you. So just be real. On YouTube, on Twitter, just type in Mick Ruby and you will find me, because I don't have time to spend a lot on socials, Bilal. It's getting rough. I wish I had an aggregating account that spreads everything out. So I'm basically just focusing on Twitter and YouTube takes a lot of my time.
So you can. Well, look, mate, thank you so much for your time.
It's a pleasure.
We're going to have to do this again. We're going to have to do this again very soon.
Thank you so much for stopping by and watching MUFC Realist TV. Don't forget to like and subscribe and follow us on the socials.